Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome for today's program, the discussions on Nectar of Devotion. So we are doing a detailed studies here. So thank you all so much for your kind association. So today we're going to discuss on chapter 11, aspects of transcendental service. Okay. So it's really a wonderful day. Today is uh, Friday, 8th August, 8th August 2025, Friday. And today is also Adi Amavase. And sorry, Adi Amavase, Adi Velli. It's a very good day, a very auspicious day. And tomorrow we're going to celebrate that Balaram Purnima. Balaram Purnima. So the day advent of Lord Balaram. Okay. So before we start, let's do our invocation prayer. Let's invoke auspiciousness to all our Guru Varga. Without your causeless mercy, we might not be here talking about it. And of course, we also need their mercy to understand the subject matter very effectively. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swaparantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Uttapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagar Jadam Shahagana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savaduta Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vidamscha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvashesha Shunyavadi Pashati Deshatarine Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Shri Varshabhana Vidavidaitai Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Viknana Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryo Jwala Premadya Sri Rupanuga Bhakti Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namustute Namaste Gauravani Shri Muktaye Dina Tarine Rupanuga Viruddha Pasidanta Dvanta Harine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambara Sambodhe Padam Bhujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Vir Bhava Bhumestani Desa Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarubhauma Sri Jagannathaye Te Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubheva Paditanam Pavinibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Om Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Garoti Se Nama Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhakta Avataram Bhakta Akyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanto Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhamstiri Vipranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Shari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Srimati Jayapataka Swami Niti Namine Namacharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayane Gaura Kadadamadaya Nagaramatarine Hare Krishna. Dear devotees, I'm so happy to see Vaishnava Kripa Prabhu, Gandhi Mataji, Harpriya Saraswati Mataji, Nandari Mataji, and Satguna Mataji. Welcome. My gratitude to all of you for joining us on time. All right, because if it's not your enthusiasm, so I also, being a very lazy person, so enthusiasm is very contagious. Okay, I got the thing done here. All right, so let's see what we have read last Wednesday. So here we talk about chapter 10, a very important chapter that we have came across. All right, so we understand that what is the steps of achieving success in bhakti. All right, first we spoke about principles. Okay, so just a quick recap from so chapter 1. In chapter 1, we spoke about the characteristic of pure devotional service. All right, what is the idea about studying this book? Because we are all trying to attempt to become a pure devotee of the Lord. So being a pure devotee of the Lord, there is some qualities. Okay, what is a characteristic? Okay, what is a character? Then after that, after we understand the characteristic of pure devotion, because only pure devotion service only we can go back home, back to Godhead. Then after that, we spoke on the first stage of devotion. Okay, what is the step one in devotional service? Okay. Then after that, we discuss on eligibility of the candidate for accepting devotional service. Who are the people who can accept devotional service? We discuss on chapter 3. And in chapter 4, devotional service surpasses all liberation. Okay, we are not care about any kind of liberation because devotional service is beyond all kind of liberation. Okay. And of course, then after that, we went into chapter 5, the purity of devotional service. Okay, how pure devotional service. Okay, why it surpasses everything? Because devotional service is very pure. How pure? We discuss in chapter 5. Okay. Then we come to the point, okay, how to do this? First, we understand. First characteristic, okay, we know why devotional service is important. Okay, what is the first stage? Who is the candidate who are eligible? All right. And why devotional service surpass all liberation? And how pure is devotional service? All right. Then number 6, now is a practical step. It says about how to discharge devotional service. Okay, how to do it. Okay, we start in chapter 6 and chapter 7. It gives you evidence regarding devotional service. Okay, what is evidence? Okay, how to do it? What is evidence? And after that, okay, the first thing that we understand in devotional service, we have to avoid all kind of offenses. Then number 9, further consideration of devotional principle. We spoke on principle. And now we came to the point in chapter 10. Okay, how to go about it. Techniques. Okay, how to do it. So we spoke about hearing and remembering. All right. The first step 1 in achieving success in devotional is by listening. Okay, we should hear. We should hear very nicely. After you hear the past times, that's when you can remember. First you hear, then you remember. Okay, that's a topic that we have what they call so we did in chapter 10, and today in chapter 11 we're going to start on aspects of transcendental service. Okay, aspects of transcendental service. Okay, what is the aspects? Okay, what are the aspects in transcendental service? Is what we're going to continue today. All right. Okay. So now is chapter 11. We are going to chapter 11. So what is that aspects of devotional service? First we hear, then we remember. Okay, so what is next? All right, you hear. Okay, we all are hearing. All right, and we remember. Is that enough? Like some people say, okay, I'm attending all the classes in Zoom. I do this, I don't, I'm following all the things virtually. Yes, you're hearing and you're remembering. So after hearing and remembering, what is next? Is it hearing and remembering is enough? Now we're going to speak about aspects. Okay, what are the things that you should do further? All right. Attadasyam, dasyam, karmar, panam, tasya, kainkaryam, api sarvata, kainkaryam. Even in Tamil also we use the word kainkaryam. Kainkaryam means servicing, service. All right. So bhakti kainkaryam. All right. So in a devotional service in Tamil, we call bhakti kainkaryam. All right. So servitorship. Now we're going to talk about servitorship in the opinion of the karmis. All right. Who? The karmis' opinion. Offering the result of karma is called servitorship. Offering the result of karma, that means whatever good things that you do, you offer, is called servitorship. All right. Who say that? According to the karmi. Okay. But according to Vaishnava Acharya, okay, Vaishnava Acharya, okay, what is the Vaishnava Acharya's opinion? Like Rupa Goswami, servitorship means constant engagement in some kind of service to the Lord, right? So servitorship means we have to engage in some kind of service constantly, all right? It's not just listening and hearing and remembering, all right? Oh, okay, I go to work. Okay, like for instance, of course, chapter 3, Bhagavad Gita, it says that don't expect any result, offer everything. Chapter 5, karma, action in Krishna conscious, offer everything. So Krishna started in a karmic point of view, right? That eventually come to that ultimate goal, that surrender to me, all right, in Bhagavad Gita. So it says the opinion of a karmi, offer your result of karma. It's called servitorship. Whatever you do, just offer to Krishna. Fair enough. But according to Vaishnava Acharya, okay, because here we are not talking about neophyte level bhakti, sadhan bhakti. We are not talking about neophyte. We are not talking to a new people who just join us. New people who just join us, of course, we talk on Bhagavad Gita, chapter 1, chapter 2, the Gita setting. Then you understand, oh, really? Oh, that means Arjuna start lamenting. So what do you do? What Krishna says, chapter 3, look here, you have to do your job. because it's your karma, it is your activity. You can't even maintain your body without even doing. So you have to do something. But let me tell you something. To have peace of mind, don't expect any result. Just do your duty. Right? Then after that, chapter 4, he spoke about transcendental, that means some spiritual, philosophical on that chapter 3. And chapter 5, he came to the point, he says, look here. So not only you don't expect. So when you get the result, what you should do? Okay, I do things without even expecting anything. I just go to job, I just do my job. By end of the month, I'm getting salary. So what should I do with it? You know? So he said, don't expect any result, but the result come by itself, by its own. So what I should do with that? Then Krishna says, offer it to me. Whatever result of karma that you're going to get, your salary, whatever it is, offer it to me. Because when you offer the fruit of your karma, your activity, when you offer the fruit, it's considered all that activity you perform is become devotional service. And I give a lot of example on that. For those who have joined my Gita Gyan class, or okay, when we go to Bhagavad Gita, we discuss that in detail also, right? What it says that, right? I go to work, punch card in the morning, I go to work. It doesn't work, it's nothing to do with devotional service. You know, I get up in the morning, I drive, you know, I take bath, then I dress and I drive. Then while driving, I don't know what are the animals I've killed or some other people, then I'll be cursing on the road. Then once you go to work, then you go to work, then you do your job, which is sort of, but end of the month, when you get the salary, you take it and offer it to Krishna. Your entire duty, like waking up in the morning, driving and honking and going to work, punch card, greeting people, hey, how are you? Good morning. Is it okay? All that activities is considered devotional service. So that's what Krishna started that way. Okay, he started slow. All right, he didn't straight away jump to the point. But here, but since we are going into more advanced than being a neophyte, so we understand. So the devotional service, the servitorship means, all right, it is constant engagement. All right, constant engagement in some sort of devotional service. Okay, what are the engagement we can do, like chanting and all this? Okay, now Rupa Goswami is quoting from Skanda Puran. Tatra yata skande tasmin samarpitam karma swabhavikam apishware bhavet bhagavato dharmas tat karma kim utarpitam. Okay, in verse 184. So what he says, karmas, okay, then after that, the second verse, right, 185. He says, karma swabhavikam badram japat dhyanarchana dicha itedam dvividam krishne vaishnavair arpitam. So in Skanda Purana, it is said that those who are attached to ritualistic activities, okay, those who are attached to ritualistic activity, all right. So like you see, like so many people love. That's why all that South Indian temple, all the temples are progressing. Sometimes when you come to Hare Krishna, they say, what are you, what parigaram, what ritual, what are the things you do? No, we just simply chant Hare Krishna. Sometimes they can't take it. What? You know, say like, for instance, even for a funeral, even for a marriage, we just need to simply chant Hare Krishna is enough. But just to please the mass population. You know, when Prabhupada wanted to do opening ceremony of Krishna Balaram temple in Vrindavan, he called all the first class priests, okay, come and do the installation ceremony and these things. So the disciples were like quite bewildered. Why Prabhupada is first he said that no need to do any ritual, simply chant Hare Krishna. But now why is he calling all the priests and want to do this thing, you know, Pratisthana, the installing the deity? Why is that so? You know, they were like bewildered. So Prabhupada is telling, I need to do this just to please the local Brajavasi. If not, the locals will never accept this temple as authentic. Just to please them, I need to do this ritual. All right, so like that. So there are so many people are still attached to rituals. All right, but in Skanda Purana says those who are attached to rituals, all right, or attached to the 4 orders of social life and 4 orders of spiritual life, Varna Ashram, all right, attached to the Varna Ashram. Varna Ashram is important. But the thing is, we need to be a practitioner of Varna Ashram, not become very attached to Varna Ashram. Now I am a Grahastha, I must be a good Grahastha. That's supposed to be the idea. All right. And I am a teacher teaching this thing. So I must remain as a teacher who are teaching this, what they call in these devotional aspects of learning. All right. But that is my job, my duty. But the thing is, those who are attached means what? All right. Oh, I'm a Grahastha, so this is what I should live. So I'm not thinking about progressing myself to the next level of Vanaprastha or Sannyasi. Okay, that is fair enough. Okay, even Grahastha is good enough. But when you talk about the social custom, oh, I born into this kind of family, I must remain in that family. Being attached is no good. Right? That's why sometimes we see in Vedas, it says reject that idea. But at the same time, you may argue, but Prabhupada asked to re-establish that idea. How is that Prabhupada says establish, but at the same time, Prabhupada also says reject that idea? Why is that so? Right? Why is that so? Because when you are attached to your certain caste, you can never progress. And you will discriminate. Because you must understand the real purpose of Varna Ashram. To progress, we are talking about being progressive, not being orthodoxly sit in one place. Okay, if you are going to stick into one place, just remain that way. But don't hinder others from progressing. When you see people who born from a low family, outcast, right? So when they say, oh no, you have to remain there. You are not allowed for progress. Like once Prabhupada, so one of the disciple of Prabhupada went to one temple in Vrindavan. The priest came and told the disciple of Prabhupada, I bless you, next birth you'll born in Brajavasi. You're born in Vrindavan and start to serve the deity. And he was so happy, he came back and told Prabhupada, I got a very good blessing from a sadhu. And Prabhupada said, what is that? He said that sadhu blessed me that next birth I'll be born in Vrindavan and become I do a deity worship. And Prabhupada just looked at him and gave a very sarcasm look and said, go and tell the priest that I bless you, that you bless him, that next birth you're born in America and distribute Prabhupada's book. So like that. So we don't hinder people from progressing. So that's why we say reject it. Reject it in the sense of reject that idea that you have to remain in where you are. Okay, but you must adopt to the idea that in Vaishnava philosophy, we are talking about progressive. All right. Even in this life also, we are formerly as first-class karmis, right? And we are all malichas. We all have eaten meat, drank wine, and all this kind of lifestyle we came from. I mean, I shouldn't generalize. I should say I. Sorry, yeah. So I came from that kind of background. So I cannot say, oh, I remain in that kind of malicha background, so I remain in malicha. No, I have to progress. All right. So like that. So okay now. So now say those who are attached to ritualistic activities, four orders of social and this thing are considered devotees. Still considered devotees. Okay, because they still remain in rituals and they remain in their ashram. But when devotees are actually engaged in offering service to the Lord directly, these must be Bhagavatas or a pure devotee. Okay. But those who are offering service directly to the Lord, right? Anybody, those who are staying in ashram, those who are staying caste system, whatever, or those who do all kind of rituals, they are considered devotees. Everybody is a devotee. But those who offer service directly to Krishna, they must be Bhagavatas. And what is Bhagavata means? Pure devotee. So that's the idea that we all want to be a pure devotee. So we have to do direct service to the Lord. Those who engage in fruitive activities, that means they are working, they are grahastas, and okay, or prescribed duties. Or sometimes they have a prescribed duty. That means this is my job, I have to remain there. According to the four orders of social and spiritual life, according to Varnashram, are not actually pure devotees. Prabhupada said that. No, it says here. You all understand this thing? So that means in this verse, we understand those who still remain in your caste system, according to ashram, that means your fruitive work. Okay, now I'm a doctor, I'm an engineer, this is my job. But I'm chanting 16 rounds, I'm practicing sadhan bhakti. Or at the same time, so I'm doing the prescribed or I'm engaging in fruitive. So all these kind of people, not actually pure devotees. They are devotees. They are devotees, but not pure devotees. But still, Prabhupada says, but still, because they are offering the result to the Lord, they are accepted as devotees. Because they're offering whatever things they're offering to the Lord, they are still accepted as devotee. When one has no such desire, but when the time comes when one has no such desire, but acts spontaneously out of love of God, such a person must be accepted as a pure devotee. So spontaneous love for God, that means you do not need to be motivated to do things. Out of spontaneous, I have seen a person who are a doctor, veterinarian doctor, and he was the one who approves the cows to be slaughtered. But after he understood this philosophy, he actually gave up his job as a veterinary, resigned as a government veterinarian, right? So these are the people. So that means they give up that and spontaneously out of love, they start to serve God. They are accepted as a pure devotee, right? And who are the pure devotee? Okay, who are the, when you talk about spontaneous means when they come to the level of bhava, okay? The conditioned soul who have come into contact with material world, okay? The conditioned soul, once they come into contact with this material world, are more or less desirous for lording over material nature, right? So it's what it says here, a conditioned soul, all right, a person like me, anybody that born in this material world, once the conditioned soul come in contact with material world, once they come in contact to this, they somehow or other desire to become leader. They want to lord over material nature. It is very natural, or it's very natural. So that is something that that is very naturally in everyone's mind. All right. Just how naturally a woman sees the man or the man sees the woman, they get attracted. So the desire to become the Lord is natural tendency when that conditioned soul, which has been conditioned, they come in contact with this material world. You understand? All right. So what happened when everybody wants to become a leader? Every Tom, Dick, and Harry wants to become a leader. So it's going to create a what they call confusion. Just imagine a person who are Shudra, who are a laborer class, who don't have much intelligence, all right, who don't have much intelligence, don't have much exposure, don't have a proper education, suddenly wants to become the president of the country. What will happen? All this while America, the presidents are the former servicemen, the soldiers who fought the war, the soldiers who serve the country. Usually they are the one who becomes the president of America, like Eisenhower, like this Bush, George Bush, senior and junior, both are soldiers. The first person, what they call, who are not that, is Obama. And of course, and now some or other, it went even further degraded when a businessman becomes a president. Like what happened to Donald Trump. He's a businessman. A businessman, he runs the country just like how he runs his business empire. All right. He always in a cloud nine thinking they are great and they're creating the system so bad that all the immigrants and all the foreign, all these people are asked to go back. Right. Of course, one of my best friend, one of my teacher in Bhakti Sastri also were deported. You know, deported. I was thinking, how come you're so free? You know, whenever I send you message at V hours, you can still reply. He said, no problem, I'm back to India. Why? What happened? I'm part of the victim of the Donald Trump. I say, okay, that's good. You're back to India means you're very lucky. Right? Don't lament on that. Anyway, so what I'm trying to tell you here is like this. So when unqualified men try to become a president or king, the whole world goes haywire. All right? Just imagine a low-born mentality Hitler suddenly want to become the emperor, the Reich. Reich means he wants to be the emperor. What happened? The whole world went into disaster. You understand? The whole world went into disaster, right? The Japanese also wants to become this thing, but of course the king, the emperor of Japan wants to conquer the world. All right, they did all this kind of massacre and all this. Fair enough, okay, that is different, but not compared to this what Hitler did, extermination of the Jews. You know, so when unqualified person takes up a role, it's going to create a disaster. When a person who is not clean, not this thing suddenly wants to become a Brahmana, what will happen? What will be his quality when you do the deity worship? When person are not properly initiated and everything, they start to go and cook the temple, or they want to cook and offer to Krishna. What is the quality of the food? All right. Even as a cook, we must have the mentality. I'm cooking these for Krishna's pleasure. And I'm cooking in full meditation, meditating and just meditating that Radharani is advising you what to do now. How much spice to put, how much to say. Not, oh, I feel like eating some curry meat or some roti canai. Oh, I feel like, oh, I'm craving for roti canai. Never mind, I go to cook roti canai. But I don't take the karma, so I offer to Krishna first. So there's varieties. Okay. So only the qualified person only. But that's the thing. So everybody wants to become the Lord. So when everybody wants to become the Lord, they have to be divided. You become the Lord in your circle. Don't get involved with others. All right. When a Shudra, you become the Lord among the Shudras. When you're a Vaishya, you become the Lord among the Vaishyas. If you're a Kshatriya, you become the Lord among the Kshatriyas. If you're a Brahmana, you become the Lord among the Brahmanas. So how to identify them? How do they do that? A Brahmana is considered higher or lower. When you become when you become the master of Brahmana, you want to become the leaders of the Brahmana clan category, the lot of Brahmanas. How they identify you? Through your knowledge. How fantastic knowledge you have. All right, the knowledge from all the Vedas and Sastras and Nyaya, okay, all this logic and all these things. So you're very highly qualified, highly scholarly. So you're the leader of that Brahmana. And how the Kshatriya? Kshatriya means the amount of the level of your bravery. How brave are you? Because you are very brave, you can conquer many places. So you are the king, you are the Chakravarti. All right. And how about Vaishya? Vaishya means how much gold and opulent that you have. The more money and the more rich you are considered the leader of that clan. All right. And how about the Shudra? All right. Shudra means the one who are the best servant, being very honest and the best servant. They are the leader of that Shudra clan. So like that, there is a system. That's why the system of Varna Ashram and the prescribed duties under the system are designed that the conditioned soul may enjoy the material world according to his desire for sense gratification, at the same time gradually become elevated to the spiritual understanding. You understand what I'm saying? So for that reason, the Varna Ashram actually created. Now you understand when people ask you, oh, Hinduism or the Sanatana Dharma, they're following the caste system. All right. And what is the real idea about caste system? Because the real idea about caste system and the conditioned soul get connected with this material condition, they want to become a leader. So when they want to become a leader, they have to be divided according to their clan, according to their level of mentality, exposure. If not, it's going to create so much of haywire. All right. So this reminds me about my daughter, Suddenly she became like so active, involved in a Form 6 and everything. Right? So I was thinking, what are you trying to achieve and everything? Then suddenly she just told me, she said, Pa, I really want to be the president of the sixth former. Really? And I want to be the president of Tamil Language Society. Because that's the biggest, so I want to be the president of this both. For that reason, I need to do something. So when I'm reading this, it reminds me about her. She's only a 19-year-old, 18-year-old. And I just come out, just like egg hatched. And she had the desire, wants to become the leader. So when I read this, it reminds me about her. So that means everyone have the thing. So you have to stick accordingly, right? Stick according to the your natural instinct. So I told her, your nature is this. Make sure that you work under your nature. Don't simply for the sake of power and some popularity and of course some good co-curriculum mark that's going to carry your weight for your university. Don't simply this thing, right? But anyway, nowadays teenagers will never listen to the father. So that's the thing. So we understand. So now we understand what is the reason the Varna ashram started. That's the reason. Okay. If you have the desire to have sex, be a grahastha. So you have the desire to have sex, be a grahastha, but you have to take responsibility over your sexual activity. And what is the responsibility? Create the child. So when you create the child, it's going to take you a lifelong effort to develop the child. If you can take that responsibility, you can be a grahastha. Not simply just like a cat and dog, simply just become a grahastha and just produce unwanted children. All right. But you think, oh, I cannot go through, because in Gurukul, all this you learn. But of course, there's no Gurukul system nowadays. Everybody as young as 15, 16 also, they lose their virginity. They're exposed to this thing, right? Exposed to sexual and all these kind of things. So they create a Varna Shankara. Unwanted populations are more and more created. So we have to be very careful. So in this thing, okay, now just for a few moments of excitement, you're going to have a lifetime of commitment. All right. Oh, I can't take that commitment. Then don't get married, remain a brahmachari. Oh, I can take that commitment. Yes. Then you can get married. So something like that. So marriage is very important, and divorce is not something that is recommended. Even whatever good or bad, if you have a terrible spouse, terrible children, you have to go through it because that is your karma. Right? That day I was listening to a lecture from my Guru Maharaj. He was telling about the varieties of children. Some children born that going to spoil the entire family and a clan name and everything. What type of children is this? That means your enemy wants to take revenge on you but couldn't take revenge. He will born as your child and take revenge. He will tarnish everything. everything that you have. So like that. So if your child that born to you is taking want to elevate you or some mercy, he will become a pure devotee and elevate you. So something like that. There's so many varieties, right? If you're going to go into that detail, I'm going to take at least another few hours to talk about that. So anyway, so it's going to take a lifetime of commitment to, and after, what is another worst commitment? Once you have a child, whatever good or bad the child is going to do until 16, you have to take the karma. If your child lose the virginity or lose that attitude, character at a very young age, you have to face the consequences. All right, that's the thing. Then after that, what happened? You have to ensure your child marries a worthy person, not simply any another Tom, Dick, and Harry, because they're also going to produce the future generation. That's a commitment of the parents, right? And the girls must be married. You cannot keep the girls unmarried with you. It's another big bad karma. You know, the consequences of that, you stick Garuda Purana, that's it, you're going to have a sleepless night. All right. Like nowadays, the modern girls don't want to get married. Oh, I want to remain single. I want to remain with my parents. That's a very bad thing. Like those days, they somehow or other want to get the girls married. And when we thought that is discriminative, but that's not discriminative, because they have that power to create future progeny. Men don't have, only the women have. And the future progeny, see, when the land is, when you want to cultivate the land, when the land is fertile, you have to cultivate. You cannot keep the land this thing, and end of the day, the land becomes forest, jungle, and create unwanted plants and weeds and all these kind of things. End of the day, the land is wasted. So every mother, women, is potential of creating future generation, and they have to take that commitment, right? So, so you have to get the girls married. You cannot keep the girls with you forever, you know. Okay, anyway, so going to that is going to be even more bad. So, so there's a commitment. Oh, I have to get my daughters married. All right, I have to get my son married. Right. Then after that only you're allowed to take a break when you take vanaprastha. When you take a vanaprastha, when your wife can be taken care by your son. You must have a worthy son. If your son can take care of your wife, then you're allowed to give her up. You can just allow, you just leave your wife to the son, and you go and take vanaprastha or sannyas. So what happens if you can't do that? You can't do, you won't be able to do that vanaprastha sannyas. So it takes a lifetime commitment, right? So anyway, so that's the thing. So we have to bring up. So all these things have to be regulated. Okay. So by doing that, right? By doing that, we will somehow or other, we will gradually become elevated to spiritual understanding. Now, for instance, you understand all these things. Now, oh my God, my children, you know, what to do? I was not a born devotee. You know, if I were born devotee from the day one, I could bring up my children, but I just came halfway. Now I cannot go and talk to my children to do this, do that. I asked me to go and fly kite. Appa, go and fly kite. You know, don't come and tell me what to do. I know what I'm doing. You know, so what can I do? Oh my God, what type of hellish suffering I'm going to go through and all these kind of things. So scared, right? So therefore, what we do, we simply surrender to Krishna, and now we have to think about saving ourselves. We cannot expect the children to save you. The children are not in the situation to save you. All right? Putra. Putra means what? Put means hell. Ra means deliverer. Putri means the feminine part. Putri. That means the girl will deliver you from the hellish planet. Right? So if you don't have a proper putra, okay, it is called mutra. Mutra means wasted. Wasted breed. Right? But the thing is, we should always think about how we're going to save ourselves. We cannot expect our children to give us pinda in the future and all these kind of things, because I've seen it with my own eyes, right? Some of my cousins, my grand aunt passed away, you know, my cousin passed away, the children do this, like the day my aunt passed away last year. The sons are not bothered. I mean, they listen to me, but they're going to listen to some stupid, foolish priest. They do this, do that, and this. I think then why come and ask me? Oh, because then after that, they say, no, my mother don't believe in all that. You know, my mother don't believe in all that. He just believes, do good, think good, everything will be good. So they are so confused. And what will be happening to the condition of the soul of my auntie? I can just think about it. I can imagine. So we have to be very careful, right? But when we see that when we don't have a qualified children, what is the next step you can do? Save yourself. Save yourself. Enough of taking care of your children. Now you have to think about saving yourself. You have to go on chanting. You have to go on reading. You have to go on engaging yourself in this kind of what they call this thing. All right, because first we think they're going to help, but when you find the system is like that, you have to go and save yourself. All right, that's how we become elevated to spiritual understanding. First, do my children can save me? No. If my children can't save me, I have to save myself. So what can I do? Then that's the process. So sometimes a grasta becomes a better devotee than brahmachari because the grasta have seen life. All right. So when you look at the frustration or the anxiety, the grastas, the married men and mother, ladies will have the worst anxiety. Every day, don't know what the new thing my child going to bring. So like that, all right? But for brahmachari, sometimes they don't understand that. Whatever it is, the varna ashram system is to elevate us spiritual understanding. So under these prescribed duties of varna and ashrama, there are many activities which belong to devotional service in Krishna consciousness, right? In many activities. Those devotees who are householder accept Vedic ritualistic performance. All right, those who are in a household, they do the Vedic rituals. Why? Why they need to do Vedic rituals householder? Sometimes we will be like too lazy to go to temple, or we'll be too lazy to visit the thing and everything. So that's why the householder accept Vedic rituals. Sometimes they call the priest come to the house and do yagya. At least at that particular moment, the whole family, especially the children, will be sitting and participating in yagya, chanting Hare Krishna. Or once in a while, you take the whole family, go for a pilgrimage. At least they go there, they start to see life. Sometimes they say, oh, India is so dirty. Yes, you have to see the reality of life. It's always better the country to be in that way. What is the point having a spotless, clean place, but heart is so much of dirt, right? The idea about pilgrimage is to what? Go there and get enlightened. The enlightenment happens when you see the people are suffering without food, and people are having these, and of course the spiritual life, the Krishna is there. You know, end of the day, even though they are having so much of pain, so much of terrible condition they are living, and yet they can still maintain their equilibrium. They can still maintain their enthusiasm in serving the Lord. So we understand. So all these things. So that's why the householder must do Vedic ritual ceremony, as well as prescribed duties of devotional service, right? He has to do. Someday, every Sunday, he has to go to temple and make sure he bring the children. Like the day I shared an article, right? You saw, right, the old lady were beaten and thrown by the roadside because the children are not trained properly. The old lady is at fault because the old lady didn't bring up the children properly, right? Until they were always thinking about money and talking about success, all materialistic concept. End of the day, what happened? The old lady was thrown by the roadside. And eventually at 9:30, when they found out, they took her to the clinic and she died. And you think the children going to do all this kind of pinda and everything? They just died already. Just ask just pay some money, ask people to just burn her and throw the ash. All right, that's all. Maybe the son and the daughter can be convicted for doing that. But the conviction for how long? Maybe they'll be sentenced for 3, 4, 5 years jail. But of course, after that, for the rest of the life, the lady don't get any pinda, don't get anything. So what will happen to the soul of the lady? You'll become a ghost. In Bhagavad Gita, it's mentioned that when you don't for proper pinda and all this, the Atma will become ghost, right? So we may look at that example, but we always have to reflect on ourselves. Will my child will do all these kind of things? The possibilities, yes, she or he may do, but I do not want to take risk. All right, I do not want to take risk. Even though how opulent, how rich you are, still you want to buy insurance. Why? Because maybe 20, 30 years down the road, something goes wrong and I don't have the money, what will happen? You must have always backup plan. So the real intelligent backup plan is we actively involve and participate in this sadhana bhakti, devotional service, that eventually if anything goes wrong, I'm very pretty sure that I will be taken to the next birth into a very favorable devotee family. All right? Because the children that come to me is all depends on according to the karma that I did. The children come to me to release me from all this kind of effect. The real fruit of your karma is children. When the children goes haywire, that's it. Our head will start to spin. You know, they shout at you anyway. So whatever. So because both are meant to satisfy Krishna. When a householder devotee performs some Vedic duties, they do so to satisfy Krishna. As we have previously discussed, any activity aiming for satisfying the personality of Godhead is considered devotional service. All right, 12186. Mrudu Shraddasya Katita Swalpa Karmadhikarita Tat Arpitam Haraudasyam Iti Kaishchit Udiryate. Rupa Goswami described that one who is fit to become engaged in devotional service. Okay, describes one who is fit. Who are the people who are fit to become engaged in devotional service? He says that person who are neophytes and people who have developed a little love of Godhead are not interested in the activities of sense gratification. Right. All right. So he says that a person who are neophyte means he's still karmi and all this, and neophytes who have developed a little love of Godhead. Okay. He says that a person who are neophytes and who have developed a little love of Godhead are not interested in the activities of sense gratification. Sometimes you see people, right? Sometimes when you're going to approach people to do MLM business, I'm not interested to be rich. Oh, you can drive a BMW, you can drive a Mercedes, you can live, and I'm not interested. I'm happy with wherever I am. So that means they don't have interest in activity sense gratification. Right? So in proportion to the devotion. So if there is still some attraction for sense gratification activity, then the result of such activity should be offered to Krishna. All right? If there is still offered that to Krishna. This is also called engagement in the service of the Lord, with the Lord as the master and the worker as the servant. Okay, how? The Lord is the master and the workers as the servant. All right, in 12187. Dvitiyam yata naradiye, quoting from Narada Puran, Ihayasya haredasya karmana manasa gira nikila swapyavastasu jivan mukta sa uchyate. In Narada Purana, there is a statement on how to servitasya, how this servitorship is transcendental. Even as a servitor, okay, as a servant, why this is auspicious? It is said that a person who is constantly engaged in devotional service by his body, mind, and words. How? Body, mind, and words. Or even a person who is not practically engaged, but simply desiring to be so, is considered to be liberated. Wow. All right. See how wonderful. I mean, it says those who are in a servitorship, those who are, how wonderful is being a servitor. Example, those who are constantly engaged, every time they engage in devotional service. How? By his body, by the mind, or by the word. Or even who practically not engage. All right. So he's not engaging, but he has a simple desire to do so. These are the people who are considered as liberated. All right. Any questions so far? All good? Okay. Let's take a 2 minutes break. We'll continue. Okay. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hope everyone is back. Okay. Let's continue. Ata sakyam vishvaso mitra vrittischa sakyam dvividam iritam. Okay. Text 188. Devotional service in friendship. First, we spoke about devotional service in as a servitor, as a servant. Okay, now let's look at devotional service in friendship. All right. So, devotional service in friendship can be divided into two categories. All right. The friendship, devotional service in friendship can be divided into two categories. And the first one is to act as the confidential servant of the Lord. To act as a confidential servant. And the other one is to be a well-wisher of the Lord. To become Krishna's well-wisher. How? When it comes to any festival, you support the festival, you give donation and all these kind of things. It's like being a well-wisher. All right. The devotee who has confidence, the devotee who has confidence in devotional service to the Lord, systematically follow the rules and regulation. All right. Those who will follow the rules and regulation, the one who have confidence. All right. And with the faith, confidence, rules and regulation, and with faith that he will achieve the platform of transcendental life. He has the faith that he can achieve the success. The second type of devotional service is friendship, is to become well-wisher of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In Bhagavad Gita, he said, the Lord accepts the preacher as the most dear servant. Oh, okay. In Bhagavad Gita, he said, the last verse, he said that those who speak about Bhagavad Gita, those who preach, they are the most dear servant. And there's no one more dearer than that person, right? So we understand that Lord accepts the preacher, the one who will go and propagate this Krishna consciousness, as the most dear servant. Anyone who is preaching the confidential message of Gita to the people in general is so dear to Krishna, that no one can be equal to him in human society. All right. So now, if you can get a chance, go and preach, go and distribute Bhagavad Gita. So then let's look at the next one. Mahabharata is quoting from Mahabharata. Tatra adyam yata Mahabharate pratijña tava govinda name bhakta pranashyati iti sangsmritya pranan sangdarayamyaham. Okay, it's quoting in 12189. In Mahabharata, Draupadi said, who's speaking now? Draupadi says, my dear Govinda, you promise that your devotee can never vanquish. You promise that your devotee never be vanquished. Okay? Because he says, I believe in that statement. She says, I believe in that statement. Therefore, in all kinds of tribulation, I simply remember your promise, and thus I live. So this is something that we can consider. Please underline this statement. All right? This is something that we can really keep it as our prayer. What it says, my dear Govinda, your promise is that your devotee can never be vanquished. I believe in that statement. And therefore, in all kinds of tribulation, in all kind of tribulation, I simply remember your promise, and thus I live. So we can do that actually. So when you're going through some kind of struggle, when you think there's certain things that you wanted to do is nothing is happening, okay, or you have some kind of challenges, always remember that. Always remember the promise Krishna gave, that the devotee will never be vanquished, and believe in that statement, so that in any kind of tribulation, you simply remember your promise. Maybe this one verse you can start to memorize. Can anyone tell me what is the verse? Which chapter is this? Behold, son of Partha, my devotee never vanquished. Is it chapter 7? Anyone can help me? (931). Is it 931? Okay. Yes, 931. Shipram bhavati dharmatma shashvat shantim nigacchati kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. He quickly becomes righteous and attains lasting peace, O son of Kunti. Declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. Wow. So 931. Can you all mark that 931? Please memorize this verse by heart. All right. Okay. This 9.31. All right. 931 in Bhagavad Gita. Okay. Keep this, because here the Krishna. So whenever you are in trouble, you just remember this verse, because Draupadi, because sometimes we have to follow some great personality. Draupadi is the wife of the Pandavas. And she said, I will never forget that. And I remember your promise, and thus I live. So whenever you start to have doubt, suddenly when you start to have kind of fear, oh my God, like what I say just now, oh, my children are not listening to me. Will they, what's going to happen? I've been such a useless parent. Don't worry. Remember the verse 931. Because everything happened. But sometimes you have to be grateful, because I also did have that kind of lamentation before, right? So whatever situations that you're going through, actually Krishna is guiding you towards him, right? Sometimes you say, oh, why did I get this disease? Why do I need to go through this kind of condition situation? But later when you start to realize, oh, now I understand. I went through all that so I can come to this level of maturity, right? So 931, he says that all kind of tribulation, remember, I promised this, I live. The purport is that Draupadi and her 5 husbands in the Pandavas were put into severe tribulation by their cousin brother, Duryodhana, as well as by others. The tribulation was so severe that even Bhishma Deva, who were both lifelong brahmachari and great warrior, would sometimes shed tears thinking of them. When you look at Srimad Bhagavatam, the Bhishma Deva will be speaking to Kunti Devi. The arrow of fate, death fate. He'll be telling, oh my God, you and your children went through so much of tribulation. Even Bhishma Deva, all right? And he always surprised that although Pandavas were so righteous and Draupadi was practically a goddess of fortune, and although Krishna was their friend, still they had to undergo such a severe tribulation. Though their tribulation was not ordinary, Draupadi was not discouraged. Right? So what we have seen in this environment, they went through hell. They went through something that an ordinary human being can't even perceive. Even at that, she could still kept her enthusiasm and equilibrium. That means she has not gone crazy. Equally, they can make mind clear. Why? Because of this. So she knew that because Krishna was their friend, ultimately they would be saved. They would be saved. Got any question for this? It's a very important thing. All okay? Please put a thumbs up if it's okay.
Okay, Prabhu.
All right. How about others? Nandari Mataji also quiet today? Gandhi Mataji so quiet? Vaishnava Prabhu? Everyone is there? Oh, Gandhi Mataji put a thumbs up there. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Listening, Prabhu, with
Okay.
enthusiasm.
Okay. Vaishnava Prabhu, okay?
Okay, Prabhu.
All right. So always remember that no matter what, will not perish. No matter what, you will never perish. You will never, ever going to be back to the cycle that we have been stuck since time immemorial. Things have changed now. You were fished out from that samsara kadal, from the cycle of birth and death. You have been fished out. Krishna simply take you out and put it here. Sometimes when you are in a quicksand, when you stop, you still keep sinking down, and someone put a rope and pull you out. When they pull you out, how will you look? You will be full of mud and dirt. So now we are in that situation. We are already saved from the quicksand. And now we come out. Oh my God, thank you so much for saving me, but I'm seeing myself full of mud and dirt. So what is the next step I need to do? I need to start washing up. Now is the time for me to go and wash up. So now the washing is started. After wash up, what is the next step? Put on a new clothes. After put on the new clothes, what is the next step? Come and offer your gratitude. And after that, you are back home. You go back to wherever you came from. So similarly, so now we are out of this such a nasty environment. So once we come out from the nasty environment, now we are actually washing ourselves. We are clearing up. We are clearing up all the dirt and all the mud that's thick on our body. All right. So we always remember, I am out of this place. Krishna have already taken me out. So we are not, there's nothing to rush. All right, nothing to rush. Because why we need to rush? Because we need to achieve a goal. But for devotee, there's no future. We don't care what's going to happen tomorrow. And we have no lamentation for the past because we have already confessed all our sin. So once we have confessed, we have no lamentation of our past. We just move on. Every day is the day given to me, and every single moment I'll be engaging in Krishna consciousness somehow or other, either by chanting, by remembering, or trying to think about something, try to get inspired while I am performing other duties. Okay. Tata ega adase 11 to 53. It says Chatri Bhuvana Vibhava Hetavapya Kunta Smartir Ajitatma Suradivir Sam Vimrgyat Na Chalati Bhagavat Padaravinda Paravindal Vindal Lava Nimishardam Apiyasa Vaishnavargya Vaishnava Vargya. A similar statement is there in the 11th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, second chapter, and verse 53, where Havi. Okay, now who is speaking? Havi. Havi means the son of Rishibadev, addressing Maharaj Nimi. He says, my dear king, a person who never deviate even for a moment from engage in the devotional service to the lotus feet of the Supreme Person, right? Which is the engagement even sought even by a great demigod like Indra. With firm conviction, with not ordinary conviction, with firm conviction that there is nothing more worshipable or desirable than this, is called the first class devotee. Right? So in Bhagavatam, it says, what is a first class devotee? The first class devotee is the one who never deviate even for a moment. Even for a moment, he never deviated from engaging in the service of the lotus feet. Right? With firm conviction, is very firm, is very serious. Like sometimes when I make a conviction of chanting 64 rounds, nothing in this world can stop me. Unless Krishna himself personally want to stop you. Right? Which is not possible. But the biggest thing, nothing is actually stopping you. The thing that stopping you actually is not stopping you. It is the bewilderment of your mind. Should I do? Yeah, I'm done enough lah. 68. Okay, I'm done enough. All right, shall I stop here? It's nothing in this world is actually stopping you. It's our minds bewildering. So for that, we must have the firm conviction. No matter what, I will finish. All right. So we must have the firm conviction that means there is nothing more worshipable or desirable than serving the Lord. This is called the first class devotee. And in 1.2.191, it says, Shraddha matrasya tad bhaktav adhikaritva hetuta angatvam asya vishvasa visheshasya tu keshava. Sri Rupa Goswami says, now who's speaking? Rupa Goswami saying that a neophyte devotee who has simply developed the slight love of Godhead is certainly prospective candidate for devotional service. A neophyte. That means the beginner. All right. He still have all his anarthas. He can be the nasty person. He can be a crazy person. Or he can be a really stupid person. All right. Or he's still like, I just want to know. He just have a little attraction to Krishna. Maybe after watching some Kamal Haasan movie or some Rajini movie. There's some, Raghavendra or this Dasavadaram. They say, oh, okay, I've thought to have, I like to sing Govinda, Govinda. It's so nice. A little slight love. So Rupa Goswami is certainly a prospective candidate for devotional service. He's a this thing. But when he becomes firmly fixed in such devotional service, that assured status becomes confidential part of his devotional service. All right. So that assured status becomes a confidential part. That means now is a little this thing, but later it becomes assured. It becomes even more detailed. It becomes more in depth. All right. So that it will become the confidential part of his devotional service. Vitam yata agastya samhitam agastya samhita. Right? It says that paricharya para kechit prashadeshu cha sherate manushamiva atam drashtum Vyavarhartum cha bandhuvat. Sometimes it is found that a pure devotee, sometimes it is found that a pure devotee lies down in the temple of the Lord in order to serve him in a as a confidential friend. Sometimes when you see, when you go to temple, especially like in India, you see some person who look like an ordinary person who simply serve him. All right, lies down in the temple. He just sleep in the one corner of the temple. All right, lies down in the temple in order to serve him as a confidential friend. Ragan. Okay, now we go to Raganuga. Raganugang Gangatasya Syat Vidhi Margana Pekshtatvat Margadya Dvayena Chaitena Sadhya Sakyara Tirmata. Such friendly behavior of a devotee may be accepted as Raganuga or spontaneous. Okay, such a friendly activity like sleeping in the sea can take it as a Raganuga or spontaneous. Although according to regulatory principle, no one can lie down in the temple of the Supreme Personality. No one can lie down. Okay, now by principle, no one. But this spontaneous love for God may be grouped under the devotional service as friendship. All right. Any question? All right. Let's look at Bhagavatam, Canto 11, text 20, chapter 29, text 34. Ata atma nivedanam yata egadashe martyo yada tyakta samasta karma nivedita nivedidatma vichikrishito me tata martavam pratipatyamano mayatma bhuyaya cha kalpate vai. Surrendering everything to the Lord. Okay, what is surrendering everything to the Lord? Okay, it says that regarding the complete surrender, there is a nice description, 11th Canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, 29th chapter, verse 34, where Lord says, who says? The Lord Krishna says, a person who has completely surrendered unto me. Who? The person who has completely surrendered unto me. Has completely given up all other activities. He don't have any other activities. He is protected by me personally. These are the person who are under the protection by Krishna personally. Where? Both in this life and the next. In other words, I wish to help him become more. That means Krishna wish to help become more and more advanced in spiritual life. Such a person is to be understood as having already achieved Sharshti. Or yes, these are the people Sharshti. That means they have come to the level of Sharshti, means having equal opulence with the Supreme. So this person is some or other is qualified. All right. So when the person is still under the control of Supreme, he is considered that he have actually achieved the level of Sharshi or having the same opulence like the Supreme. Or is already liberated to the Vaikunta standard. It is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, as soon as a person surrenders unto the lotus feet of Krishna, Krishna takes charge of him and give him guarantee of protection from all sinful reaction. So as soon as Krishna takes charge of him and gives him, as soon as one person surrenders, that means all of you have surrendered, all of us have surrendered to Krishna. Yes, if you are not surrendered, definitely you won't be here every morning, sit down and listening to this kind of boring lecture. All right. But why we are here? Because we have some kind of taste. Sometimes when I tell people, my morning class can go up to 2 hours. People are sitting that long listening to you. Yeah, what's happening? Really? Yeah. Sometimes I think once we have did up to 4 hours. Yeah, people all sat and listen. Really? How could you do? Not boring. We only allowed to do 45 minutes in temple, 45 minutes, 1 hour you have to wind up. How come we can go on talking? I say, I don't know. We all got a taste. So like that. So that means you start to, that means now we have understood that we take this guarantee. So give him guarantee the protection from all sinful reaction. I mean, all the reactions that you have done. That's why I say confess. So you have to confess in order to avoid the reaction. And he also instruct from within that, so that the devotee may be very quickly take advancement towards spiritual perfection. Right? So anyone of you have done confession recently? No one have done confession yet. Vaishnava Prabhu, Sadguna Mataji, Nandari Mataji, Gandhi Mataji?
Not yet, Prabhu.
Not yet.
I'm not yet.
This
Is
is
he?
how I'll be doing over the weekend.
Oh, that also we have to think because, of course, it's very stressful also.
Yeah, that's why. I'm already stressed out with my physio and all this. So I thought, okay, I'll just do it when I'm relaxed over a weekend or
Yeah. Can. All right. And of course, share the experience, Mataji, how you feel after that.
Yes, yes, sure, Prabhu.
Gandhi Mataji, how about you?
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhu. Same also, I'm just waiting for the right peaceful time to really sit and let talk it out.
Hmm.
um, and also like
Somehow
compile.
or other, is there some kind of guilt is stopping you? I mean, you don't feel like
No,
you don't want
no.
to remember or some kind of stress.
No, actually, I want to do it. I want to do it. I
Oh.
am waiting for the right timing so that there's no disturbance and it can,
Today, anyone at home? Anyone at home?
no.
Then why not do it today?
Yeah, actually, I am thinking of it maybe later.
Yeah, after the class, just do it. You know?
Okay, will do,
Yeah.
Prabhu. Definitely must do. Thank
Yes,
you.
yes. Vaishnava Prabhu?
So much to confess, I don't know where to start now.
So much of confess?
So much to confess, I don't know where to start, when to start.
So that's why I'm telling you. Start your age. Example, say like 7 to 10. Just think about when you're 7 years to 10 years old, right? Then think about 10 to 16. Then think about 16 to 21. Just think about that situation. Just try to divide. If you're going to be randomly thinker, you will definitely won't know where to start. Because I was thinking where to start. I was just thinking, because last time in a small time, I like to take all the ants. I like to put, I like to see them drowning. I like to take the water and put some little soap, and I take all the ants, put the flood drown. I started from there. Okay, from the early childhood. And I like to kill caterpillar. So all that. So I started from there. Oh, I've done this. Okay, now I just slowly. So I just start from it. Once you got your starting point, your destination will be determined. Okay, Prabhu.
But if you're talking about caterpillar and ants, I think I cannot finish at all.
Yeah. No, just an example, I mean, no need to be very detailed, Prabhu. Things that sometimes, you feel like you start from there, but your highlight is certain things that you have done, you feel regret, I shouldn't have done that, sometimes the thought comes to you, yes or not? So that are the things that you have done. What are the grievous things that you have done? Just confess to Krishna. And when you confess, and you also must remember this, the confession remembrance also given by Krishna. So when you start to remember certain things, that means this is what Krishna wants you to confess. No need to confuse ourselves. Just go on confessing, just write down or somewhere, or whatever things that you really was such a great burden in your heart, confess that out. Like that. Okay. Now let's look at 195. Artha dvidatma shabdasya panditair upapayate dehyantas padam kaischit deha kaishin mamat babak. This self-surrender is called Atma Nivedana. Okay, Atma Nivedana. Self-surrender. Okay, self-surrender is called. According to different authorities, self is differently defined. The self is differently defined. Self is sometimes referred to the spirit self or soul. And self is sometimes considered as to refer to the mind or the body. All right. So the different authorities define the self in a different way. One part of that idea says self means I am the soul. I am the self. But another authority says consider self means the mind and the body. Okay, the mind and the body is the self. Okay, we all see that. Okay, now in our normal condition life, what we say, self. Okay, this is myself. I'm this body and this is my mind. This, but of course, it takes a lot of spiritual enlightenment to understand that you are the soul. It's something which is very hard to understand because our conditioning is so that bad. But now, full surrender, therefore, means not only surrendering one's spirit soul, but also surrendering one's mind and body to the service of the Lord. Okay, we just do it that way, right? So now I surrender myself, I surrender my mind, I surrender my body to the lotus feet of Krishna. At the same time, I used to do Atma Nivedana. That means I, as the soul, I also surrender myself along with my mind and my body. So Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur has sung a nice song in this connection. While offering himself as fully surrendered soul, he said, my mind, my household affair, my body, whatever is in my possession, my dear Lord, I offer to you for your service. Right? And you can do with them as you like. You are the supreme possessor of everything. And if you like, you can kill me. If you like, you can give me protection. All authorities belong to you. I have nothing to claim on my own. Please underline this statement. Right? Please underline this prayer. Let me highlight again. Okay. So now, look at this, the praise of Bhakti Vinod Thakur. All right. So if you want to take snapshot, take a snapshot. Right? So what he says, while offering himself as a fully surrendered soul, he said, my mind, my household affair, my body, whatever is in my possession, my dear Lord, I offer to you for your service. Now you can do with them as you like. You are the supreme possessor of everything. If you like, you can kill me. Or if you like, you can give me protection. All authorities belongs to you. I have nothing to claim as my own. So this is sometimes the prayer that I used to do it in the morning. You know, as I said that, what he said, offer your day to Krishna. So how are you going to offer your day to Krishna? This is one of the example of the way that you can offer your day to Krishna. My dear Krishna, this is on this day, I simply offer myself to your lotus feet. Right? Whatever experience, whatever good or bad experience, I take it as your message to me for the day. So when you in the morning, when you offer yourself, of course, this is some example I'm telling you. Right? Because sometimes as Indians, we don't say, no, you can kill me or you can do all that. We don't need to worry. But the idea, right? My mind and my household life, everything is actually whatever in my possession, right? I offer to you. In the morning, I offer my day to you. From now until tomorrow, 5 o'clock in the morning, when I'm going to do the next Mangala Arati, everything simply belongs to you. I offer my life to you. Right? Okay? Now, okay. Let's look at 1.2.196. Tatra dehi yata Yamunacharya stotre is a stotra from Yamunacharya. Vapuradishu yopi kopi va gunato shani yata tata vidaha tadayam tava pada patmayur aham adyaiva maya samarpita. Sri Yamunacharya, in his prayer to the Lord, Sri Yamunacharya. If I'm not mistaken, this is the spiritual master of Ramanujacharya. Yamunacharya was a former king. After got some realization, he gave up his kingdom and go and settle in Vrindavan. No. He was a Brahmana and a very highly qualified Yamunacharya. Halfway became a king. Then of course the devotees go and bring him back. He give up his kingdom. I think from that's Yamunacharya here, who is also inspired Ramanujacharya, the next Acharya of Sri Vaishnava. The former Acharya was Yamunacharya. Okay. So Yamunacharya in his prayer to the Lord has expressed the similar idea in the following words. He said, all right, so now let's look at this word. He said, the prayer is, my dear Lord, I may be living within some body as a human being or as a demigod. All right. But whatever mode of life, I do not mind, because these bodies are simply byproduct of the three modes of material nature. This body is a byproduct of three modes of material nature, and I, who am in possession of this body, who possess this body, am surrendering myself unto you. This is another prayer that you can consider. All right, please take a photo, or if you want, you're going to refer back to the thing. All right, better take a snapshot. Right? Deho yata bhakti viveka chintam kuryanna rakshayai viktritasya yata pasho tatarpayan harau deham viramit asya rakshanat. So it says in text 197, what it says? In Hari Bhakti Vivegam, Hari Bhakti Vivegam, there is a statement regarding how one can offer his body in self-surrender. Now, how you can do that? There the devotee says, my dear Lord, okay, as a souled animal has no need to think about his maintenance and sustenance. All right, when you sell your cow or sell your dog or whatever, you sell your animal, when you sell away, all right, the sold animal has no need to think about its maintenance and sustenance. You don't need to think about it, how to go to maintain, how to sustain. So, because I have given up my body and soul unto you, what is that? I have given up my body and soul unto you. I am no longer concerned with my maintenance and sustenance. That's another way. So I have no worry about my longer how who going to maintain me and how I'm going to sustain. We don't need to worry. In other words, one should not bother about his personal or family maintenance or sustenance. If one is actually surrendered the body and the soul, he should always remember that his only concern is to be engaged in the service of the Lord. All right? Because I've seen so many devotees, they say, once they surrender everything to Krishna, Krishna will maintain them. Okay? So that's one way. Just another few more verses. All right. So 1.2.198. Dushkaratvena virale dve sankyatma nivedana kesham chit eva dhiranam labate sadhana hatam. Srila Rupa Goswami says in devotionals, okay, now Srila Rupa Goswami is speaking, say that the devotional service is in friendship and devotional service in self-surrender are two difficult process. So after listening to all this, now Srila Rupa Goswami is saying something very important. That devotional service in friendship and devotional service in self-surrender are two difficult process. Therefore, such relationship with the Lord can very rarely sin. This kind of relationship can rarely sin. Just give me a second. All right. Now it says only for advanced devotees. Only a devotee who are very advanced, okay, advanced devotee are these two processes easily executed. The purpose is that it is very rare to see surrender with a mixed and sincere ecstatic devotion. All right. So in order to do that, one must give himself completely to the will of the Supreme Lord. Okay, these two different processes are quite difficult and only the advanced devotee can do it. Atanija Priyo Paharanam Yata Egadase 11.11.41. Yad yat istamam loke yat chati priyam atmana tan nivedayan mahyam tat anantyaya kalpate. Offering a favorite article. Okay, offering a favorite article. In the 11th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam 11th chapter verse 41, Lord Krishna tells Uddhava, my dear friend, if someone offers me the best thing, in his possession or anything which is very pleasing to him, he'll be eternally benefited. So anything that is so that you like the most, which is something that is so dear to you, when you offer that possession to Krishna, he'll be very pleased to you. Ata tat artha kila chestitam yata pancharatre laukiki vaidiki vapiya kriya mate mune hari seva nupulaiva pulaiva sa karya bhaktim ichchata. Verse 200. Performing all endeavors for Krishna. In the Narada Pancharatra, there is a statement of how one can act in the sphere of life for the satisfaction of the Lord. How? Act in all spheres, that means in all situations in your life. How you can act in every situation, circumstance in your life for the satisfying the Lord. It is stated that that a person who is actually in devotional service must be engaged in all kinds of activities. So the person who are actually in devotional service must be engaged in all kinds of activities. And those prescribed in the revealed scripture and those which is accepted for livelihood. So one is prescribed in the revealed scripture and second is accepted for your livelihood. In other words, not only one should a devotee engage himself in the prescribed duty or devotional service, which are mentioned in the revealed scripture, but he should also perform the duties of his practical life in Krishna consciousness. For example, a devotee who has great establishment of factory may offer the fruits of such material possession for the service of the Lord. So one is you do according to the prescription. All right. The prescription of a Brahmana is to study and teach Shastra. All right. And what is the another thing that he's accepting in his ashram? That he go house to house to beg. He go to every house to beg for some food stuff, some grains, because the Brahmanas usually don't work. They don't work. They don't have any other sort of income. They are doing their prescribed duty as a teacher and accept dakshina and go around the house for ask for some donation. So when they go into someone's house, so that householder, their prescribed duty is there to maintain the house or to some business and everything. But their prescribed duty is what? What is a prescription? When this kind of sadhu comes to the house, you have to offer them something, some eatables. When you offer that eatable to that sadhu, you also will get the same benefit of performing your prescribed duty. All right. So one, we understand, one is accepted, second is prescribed. Right. In 201, Ata Sarana Pati Yata Hari Bhakti Vilase in Hari Bhakti Vilas. Okay, chapter 11, text 677. Tavasmiti Vadan Vacha Tataiva Manasa Vidan Tatstanam Ashrita Tanve Modate Sharanagata. So now how to being a surrendered soul. In Hari Bhakti Vilas, there is a following statement about self-surrender. He says, my dear Lord, a person who has surrendered himself unto you, who is in the firm conviction. First, we have surrendered to Krishna. And secondly, we should be in the firm conviction that he is actually yours. Just raise your hand and say, Krishna, I'm yours. That is the way to surrender to the Lord. Right? And who actually acts in that way by his words, mind, and acts in that way by his body, mind, and words, can actually relish transcendental bliss. So they can also relish some kind of good feeling. Sri Narsingha Purana says, Tvam prappanosmi sharanam deva deva janardana itiya sharanam praptas tam kleshat udaramyaham. In the Narsingha Purana, Lord Narsingha Dev says, anyone who prays unto me and takes shelter of me becomes my ward, and I protect him from all sorts of calamities. Anyone who prays unto me, praise means you worship, you speak to him, and take shelter of me becomes my ward. My ward means Adaikalam. And I protect him always from all sorts of calamities, all kind of dangers I will protect you. So if any one of you still having some kind of issues with your astrological chart, surrender unto the lotus of Sri Narsingha Dev. Right? So anyway, I've spoke about it many times. The advantage of worshipping Narsingha. Okay. Now in 53, instruction 53, Ata tadiyanam shevanam tulasya yata skande. All right? Ya drishta nikilaga sangas shamani sprishta vapu pavani roganam abhivandita nirashani shiktan taka trashini pratyashati vidyani bhagavata krishnasya samropita nyasta tachrane vimukti palada tasya tulasya namaha. Tasyai tulasya namaha. Serving the trees like as tulasi. Okay, now this is quite important. In the Skanda Purana, there is a statement praising the tulasi tree as follows. Let me offer my respectful obeisances under the tulasi tree, which can immediately vanquish volumes of sinful activities. Volumes. Now the thing is like this. Simply by seeing or touching this tree, one can become relieved from distresses and disease. Simply by offering obeisances, ulundu kumuradu, and pouring water on tulasi tree, one can become freed from fear of being sent to the court of Yamaraj. the king of death. Okay, yeah. Those who have fear, simply offering obeisance and pour water. Don't take the hose and like that. Take one cup and don't use sangu. You cannot use sangu for tulasi. All right. Just take one small cup of water. Okay, one small jar, and just worship Mother Tulasi. I just pour to you. I just pour to her. Seriya, Bhaya Bhakti order. Not simply take the hose and timba. All right. If someone sows a tulasi tree somewhere, you take the tulasi and plant somewhere, he certainly becomes devoted to Lord Krishna. And when tulasi leaves are offered in devotion at the lotus feet of Krishna, you take some leaf and offer to the lotus feet of Krishna. If you don't have a tulasi, if you don't have a deity, you've got a photo, which is just add little water and stick it to the lotus. You take the leaf and stick it to the lotus feet. Sometimes what they do, they stick it with a sandalwood pulp. You know, you buy one sandalwood, don't buy that the ordinary, because the one will spoil your painting, spoil your this thing. Sometimes you get a small stick. Whenever you're free, just like grind it. Okay, it's going to take a long time to grind. Just take a little one, just put a little tulasi there and stick it on at the lotus feet of Krishna. So tulasi offered at the devotion of the lotus feet of Krishna, there is full of development of love of God. Right? In India, all Hindus, even those who are not belonging to Vaishnava group, take special care of tulasi tree. Even in great cities, there is very difficult to keep tulasi tree. Even great cities where it is very difficult. So even in great cities where it is very difficult to keep tulasi tree, people are to be found very carefully keeping this plant. You know, even the place they cannot keep, even like all over the world, like China the day, yeah, so on this thing. So cold, freezing cold. But they put a heater and they plant the tree in the house. They keep it very carefully. They water it and they offer obeisance to it, because worship the tulasi tree is very important in devotional service. Are you following me on this? Now, tata cha tatraiva drista spasta tata dhyata kirtita namita stuta ropita sevita nityang pujita tulasi shubha navada tulashim devim ye bhajanti dine dine yuga koti sahasrani te vashanti hare grihe. What it says here in Skanda Purana, there's another statement about Tulasi. Tulasi is auspicious in all respect. Simply by seeing, simply by touching, or simply by remembering, simply by praying to, simply by bowing before, simply by hearing about, or simply by sowing the tree, there is always auspiciousness. Anyone who comes to touch with the tulasi tree in this above mentioned way lives eternally in Vaikuntha world. All right. So it is very auspicious. Buy some few pots. Always ready with some soil. Whenever you see some tulasi growing, just take it and put it in the plant. So every morning when you do your Mangalarti and everything, what do you do? After you worship, what I usually do, okay, I don't know whether it's right or wrong, but the way I do, I'll be holding the pot, I'll be putting my head and I just pray to Tulasi Maharani. My dear mother, I am going through so much kind of turbulence in my life. Actually, the turbulence is actually not a turbulence. The only turbulence that I'm going through is I'm having a very uncontrolled mind. Looks like my mind can't be controlled. Why? Because of severe conditioning. Why? Because of the reaction of the sins. Where it came from all the birth I've taken. I'm not asking you or begging you to remove all that sins or what, but just give me that firmness, the pure devotion, at least to chant my japa as I promised, as I am committed to. Please always engage me in the service of the Lord. You are Bhakti Devi. You are the personified of Bhakti. You are the one who grants Bhakti. I'm just begging you, Mother, just give me at least a drop of it. I'm not asking a lot. A drop of it. At least let me perfect that one drop. And if you think I'm qualified, then give me the second drop. You know? So just hold the Tulasi and just worship. Talk to Tulasi. Try it and tell me how it feels. I don't want to give you what it feels. Please try it. And next class, you please explain how it feels. All right? So with that, we end the session. And next week, we're going to discuss on chapter 12. further aspect of transcendental service. So we open for question now. Right. Srila Rupa Goswami ki jai. Now you see all the 64 qualities of this bhakti. Now he's explaining one by one. Yes, Vaishnava Prabhu.
Prabhu, when you're offering something to the Lord,
Okay.
can you offer with Manjari, Prabhu?
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah. Even say like sometimes you know that I forget to plug tulasi. Or maybe at night I suddenly feel like cooking something and I don't have a tulasi. Even you can get the tulasi wood, you know. Sometimes the dry tulasi you pluck it and put it somewhere, right? Even the dry tulasi wood, you break it, you can put it and offer. But don't make it a habit, eh? It's only emergency.
Thank you.
Even they say sometimes when you do sambrani, when you're showing sambrani around your house, you put the sambrani, you put some sambrani powder, take some tulasi, broken, what they call the wood, the stick, put it in. Just show. It's very auspicious. Right? So tulasi is super auspicious. Okay. Any questions? Others? Nandi Mataji? Tarpiya Saras Mataji? Nandadevi Mataji? Sadguna Mataji? Have any comments, any takeaway? Anything that you feel inspired today?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, for Tulasi, like I do go to Perumal temple and Tulasi is everywhere on the floor, everywhere.
Yes.
So how do you avoid that?
That's the thing. As how we are have so much of reverence for Tulasi, sometimes, we don't want to comment that. Which Perumal temple used to go? Puchung or Klang?
Puchung, yeah.
Puchung, yeah. It's always like that. Even I go to Klang, it's scattered everywhere, and they put the Tulasi offer to Hanuman. They put the garland of Tulasi on Lakshmi. I don't know what is their content because I'm not in the situation. Everything is happening according to the bhava, according to the teaching of their sastra and everything. But whenever you see a Tulasi, immediately bow down, get down and take the Tulasi. Pick the Tulasi. You're doing a great favor. Tulasi will be very pleased with you. Maybe Krishna wants you to do that seva. And Perumal will be looking, hey, this Mataji is coming in. Make sure that Tulasi, nobody's stepping on the Tulasi. Right?
Is it sin if you eat munch on the Tulasi plant, Tulasi leaf? Prabhu?
Munch.
Munch, yeah.
Okay. Tulasi, you shouldn't munch. You know why? It has mercury. So if you're going to munch Tulasi, it's going to spoil your animal, your tooth. Your tooth will be spoiled. There's an animal, right? The tooth, there's an animal. Your animal can be diluted or something like that.
Mercury, but they say it's it's a herbal thing. It's a
It's
medicinal.
herbal thing. If you take one, if you're going to take and munch, you shouldn't. The Tulasi shouldn't touch your teeth. You just put and suck and try to roll and swallow. You cannot take like that. It spoils your teeth. It contains mercury. Mercury, right? Yeah, I think so. Mercury.
But you can consume water. You put in
Yeah,
the
definitely. Definitely you can consume.
The Perumal temple, they give you the Tulasi water you can consume.
Definitely. Even you can take the Tulasi and come and put in your water pot also can, no problem.
Oh, okay.
But don't munch. Because the Tulasi shouldn't touch your tooth. Say like you're going to eat 1 gallon of Tulasi. You can do that, but don't touch your teeth. It's sensitive to your teeth. That's why it says that don't chew on Tulasi.
Oh, okay. It's new. Okay, thank you, Prabhu.
So sometimes that's why when I go to Perumal temple, sometimes I don't like to buy the Tulasi. I mean, the way, because it's a Tulasi plant, I don't know how they're going to harvest. They're just simply going to, the way they tie the garland. Anyway, when you offer to Perumal, everything should be fine. Like in Klang temple, you're not allowed to bring Tulasi from home. You have to buy it there. So anyway.
But
No. Sorry.
Prabhu,
Yes.
can we garland Krishna with Tulasi garland?
Definitely. You should do that.
take many and make a garland and put for him.
Correct.
Okay, Babu, thanks.
Do you have that much of tulsi in your house?
Yeah, I think I have. I think I can make a garland actually. But
Wow.
I have
Also,
every
don't
time.
let the manjari dry up. Before the manjari dry up, pluck it off.
Okay. Because
Because
every time I see it has fallen, the seed has fallen and it's growing, I put in a pot.
Yes. I do the same thing. Yes.
Okay. And it
So
grows.
how to plug the thing? You must use your ring finger and your thumb. Not
Oh,
like this. Not like this. Your ring finger, and your thumb.
to plug the manjaris.
Yes. You just plug. Sometimes you just one manjari with two little leaves, 2 leaves and manjari.
Okay.
You
Plug
just
it.
pluck it. Don't cut. Shouldn't cut.
Plug and put for Krishna.
Yeah. So you just pluck. So if you want to make a garland, maybe you go a little bit down. You want to pluck it. That's how you can make a garland, right?
Yes.
So make sure these 2 fingers, your ring finger and your thumb. Right? You just say Vrindai, Tulasi Devi, Priyai, Kesavai, Vishnu, Bhakti, Pradevi, Satyavatay, Nama, all Tulasi Maharani, whatever the thing that you can pray, just pray. Maharani, I'm just plucking this leaf to offer to Krishna. Thank you so much for engaging me in this service. Nah? So you just talk and just chant Hare Krishna while you're chanting, just with full this thing and with full respect, just tuck it and just pluck. Just pluck. Don't pull. Put it. Slowly, gently pluck and put it. Pluck and put it.
Okay,
Right?
Prabhu. Will do.
And you shouldn't pluck tulsi at night. I say in the evening or at night, you have no choice. You need to cook. You need to offer something. What you can do? You go to the plant. You see some dry leaves or some leaves that has turned yellow. So just try to put your finger, ting, 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 pop, the thing fall down. You can take it. Don't pluck.
Okay, we'll do that.
Don't pluck or anything that drop down or what. In case, worst case scenario, this is an emergency. Emergency only, you can offer back the tulsi that you offered yesterday. Suddenly you see there's one tulsi that offered to Perumal, bring back, there's a tulsi, I can take the thing and offer. If the thing is worst case scenario. But always try to this thing. So when you make a garland, so you pluck, you should pluck in the morning. And in the morning, then another thing is you should not over water the plant in a pot, right? You don't take the hose and this thing. Sometimes once in a while when the weather is very hot, you just can like flood the place. Then after that, usually what I do, I'll take one. I got like that. So I got one big tulsi madam and I got all the few pots around. So my tulsi place, I got 1, 2, 3. I got 3. Waiting for another 2 to come. So it's going to be like a big round. The madam in the middle and all the pots around. So what I do, I will take one, that the arsi collar. I take the arsi collar and I take the water and I just pour as though doing abhishek. Gently pour on them. Gently pour around. That's it. That's enough. And if you see a small pot that I want, I keep one pot on my altar, right? And because I safe as so I take one small pot of tulsi, I put it in my altar. So how I water them? Take the achaman, just 3 drops. 1, 2, 3. அவ்வளவுதான் ரொம்ப தண்ணி ஊத்திராதீங்க. And no fertilizer for tulsi. You should not put any fertilizer. You can use the compost, sand, soil, and everything, but don't use this kind of the leaf booster. And don't put any fertilizer. And at the same time, don't put this tea leaves. I think அந்த தேய்த்தூள் இலை இருக்குல்ல, இலை இருக்காது. Hey, it's a good fertilizer. So put it tulsi. All right.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you.
Unless if you can get some cow dung, you burn the cow dung, turn into ash, and dry the cow dung very nicely for a few days. Then you can drop the cow dung around. That should be fine. So remember these 2 finger. And some says you should not pluck on Friday, and some says you should not pluck on Sunday. Right? Sundays you should not pluck. But I'm not sure how far it's true. But I am not denying it. But I'm going to start my studies on the Tulsi book. Okay. I think I found the Tulsi book. Yeah, I think it's there, the Tulasi Mahatmya. So, and the Tulasi book, I'll share some articles how to care for Tulasi, right? Because Tulasi is Vrinde Devi, Bhakti Devi, right? அப்புறம் என்ன செய்யணும் அப்புறம் இன்னொன்று வந்துட்டு on Ekadasi day you can pluck, not on Dwadasi. Don't pluck Tulasi on Dwadasi. After Ekadasi next day don't pluck, because that's the day after full fasting she'll be tired. Right? On Dwadasi day, if you can't find Tulasi, get some Tulasi. எப்ப அந்த Tulasi stick எல்லாம் இருந்துச்சுன்னா எல்லாத்தையும் எடுத்து வச்சுங்க தனியா. It's very auspicious.
We can use that also.
Yes. இப்போ சாம்பிராணி போடுறதுக்கு போய்க்கலாம், இல்ல எமர்ஜென்சி இப்போ Dwadasi நல்ல உங்களுக்கு துளசி லீஃப்ல அந்த குச்சியை கொஞ்சம் போட்டு செய்யலாம். அதே நேரத்துல someone passed away, okay, if someone have passed away or whatever it is, you just can take all that Tulasi leaves, cut into a small pieces into a like thing. Go to the disease house and just tell them, just and the mala poda, just take one thorn Tulasi and put it on that chest. Cremating a body with Tulasi, when the body is cremated, when the Tulasi is the same way, the soul can achieve some favorable destination. All right. Then other than that, what else? What is the most important thing? You should not Tulasi. என்ன இருக்கு இன்னும் சொல்ல நினைச்ச மறந்துட்டேன். சொல்ல நினைச்சேன். ஸோ அது ரிமீட் பண்றதுக்கு போடலாம். அப்புறம் வந்து இந்த yagya, when you do yagam, you can use the Tulasi stick. Then yeah. But the most important.
Actually, Prabhu, there's a prayer for plucking and a prayer after.
Yes. Do you know the prayer?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't know the prayer?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I printed and put it on in the fence, Prabhu.
அப்ப குரூப்ல ஷேர் பண்றீங்களா பிரபு?
Yeah, Prabhu.
Can you take photo of that? Because I know there's a prayer, but I don't know. This is why I simply chant Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
There's a prayer while plucking.
Yeah.
And there's a this thing, all right? Period time. Yeah, the girl's period time shouldn't touch the Tulasi. Put Tulasi in a sacred place.
Yeah.
Put Tulasi in a sacred place. Another the period நடக்கும்போது படக்கூடாது. அது மேல துணியை காய போடக்கூடாது. அழுக்கு துணி படக்கூடாது. No? Sometimes people get panic, yo, Tulasi died, Tulasi dry up. Oh, that means some dosam. Adela, there's no such thing. Don't worry about all that. People get very panic when the Tulasi start dry up. I say, see, you're panic because you start love her so much, right? Next time start to worship her. But of course, you have to go around at least 4 times. In the morning and in the evening. At least once you do that. Go around 4 times, parikram. When you go parikram, just imagine, meditate that you're going around the entire Vrindavan. Chariya? I want to tell you something. I forgot to tell you. Shouldn't pluck on Dwadasi day. Shouldn't pluck in the evening after 6 p.m. After the time of Parikodade. Don't prune the trees. Then don't prune the trees. அது கிட்ட போயிட்டு ஊதுபத்தில வைக்காதீங்க. அது கிட்ட விளக்கெல்லாம் வைக்காதீங்க. Sometimes it dries up. Then what else? Yeah, you can make a garland. You can put for Krishna, but not for Radharani and not for Lakshmi and not for any other devas. Sivan, that day, quite some time back, in the Shivan temple, they brought Tulasi. My God. And they took the Tulasi and offered to Shivalingam. Then I asked the priest, இப்படி செய்யலாமான்னு கேட்டேன். அது என்ன துளசி வந்து போடுறாங்க, கொண்டு வந்துட்டாங்க சார், நான் என்ன பண்றது? அப்ப நீங்க ஒரு பிரீஸ்டா நீங்க சொல்லக்கூடாதா? Then what is the thing? You supposed to be the teacher. துளசி எடுத்து வந்து கொடுக்காதீங்கம்மா. துளசிக்கு வில்வம் தான் சிவனுக்கு உகந்தது. Bring வில்வம். Why bring துளசி? You should tell. அதெல்லாம் எப்படின்னு இதான் சொல்ல வந்தேன். When see another thing, when someone passed away, especially widow இறந்தோன்னே என்ன செய்யறாங்க? They put துளசி மாலையை வந்து போடுவாங்க. Don't ever do that. Right? They will bring one big Tulasi mala. Ketta, the widow has passed away. Let's say a person widowed lady who passes away, they come and offer Tulasi garland. All right? Don't ever do that. So if you go to any house, if the disease is something that very close to you, all right, where you have the authority, when someone brings the Tulasi garland, immediately stop them. Say, no. Idala podakudadu veinga, approach potukkalam, something like that. Immediately send the garland back to temple or send to Krishna to offer to Krishna. don't ever put the fresh tulsi garland on a disease, on the dead body. And sometimes it is also, I'm not sure, I've not heard before. Maybe Vaishnava Prabhu can enlighten me. You know, especially the Malayali wedding. In the Malayali wedding, because I'm also like a quarter Malayali, I have not seen my cousins who get married, they put on tulsi garland. Vaishnava Prabhu, is the Malayali wedding tulsi garland is it a standard?
No, I don't think so.
Nowadays,
I'm not an authority. I not observed.
no, you went for your relation, your Malayali side family wedding. Do they wear tulsi garland, the fresh tulsi?
No.
I have not seen it because like a quarter of my family members are Malayali. I got one bunch of gangs, Malayali gangs. And I have not seen them putting on tulsi. Nowadays in Kerala or Malayali wedding, it became a standard that both Punnu and Mappala will put on tulsi garland. Oh Krishna. Tulsi is only for Krishna. Other than Krishna, you're going to put on someone else, it can turn into a curse. So must be very careful. Chariya. All right. I saw Karupya Saras Mataji unmute just now. You want to say something, Mataji? You want to ask something? Okay.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes,
Hare
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Can tulasi be made into chutney? Because the Filipinos, they make chutney out of
You asked a very important question. Don't make tulsi into any kind of chutney, medicine, all this. It's very offensive, Mataji.
medicine, because the traditional medicine for cold and cough,
Yes.
the juice that give shouldn't be done, is it? Karpuravalli, like
Karpuravalli with tulsi, I understand, but that tulsi is the tulsi that offered to Krishna.
okay.
Say, like for instance, you go to Perumal temple, they give you one mala, or you take some that leaf that offered to Krishna, right? The
Yeah.
tulsi that you offered, and the offered tulsi you take and mix into Karpuravalli, that is okay. Don't pluck the tulsi and make into medicine and drink.
Thanks, Prabhu.
Okay, Mataji. Because the same thing happened in my family also. Because when we have a cough, we try not to go to take this modern medicine. So we always prefer to take Karpuravalli with tulsi. And Karun tulsi is very even more powerful, right? So what we do, so we just pluck all the tulsi and we offer to Krishna. So that thing we crushed and mix with this, what they call Karpuravalli, and we drink the saru. Right? Because when my daughter used to have the chesty cough, my mother-in-law simply went and plucked all the tulsi. Enna pandringa? Pluck all the tulsi. I say, why are you plucking? I mean, out of sudden, why are you plucking so much of tulsi? Illa Sankirtanaku vandu romba chesty cough, so I need to make medicine. I said, no, don't do that. Offer that tulsi to Krishna, then that prasadam turn into medicine is fine. Okay, Mataji?
Okay, thanks, Prabhu.
And please don't use tulsi soap. And if you're using some kind of medicinal soap, see the contents. If the content has tulsi, don't take it. It's very offensive. Very offensive. Tulsi soap is can be very good fragrant, but that is not meant for the body. Tulsi shampoo, tulsi soap. Or if you buy some kind of Ayurvedic medicine, all right, when the main ingredient is tulsi, don't take it. All right, main ingredient. That means the entire preparation is made by tulsi. Or what you can do, you can take that Ayurvedic medicine, because Ayurvedic medicine is usually they prepare in a very sattvic way, right? They have a roll or rule. So you can take the medicine and offer to Krishna first, then you drink. Just take one small cup, like that the cup that you take medicine, just keep it separately. So you want to take the medicine, just pour inside, put one tulsi and offer to Krishna. My dear Krishna, I'm taking this medicine, kindly heal my body. Oh, Dhanvantari, Krishna in the form of Dhanvantari, please accept this. Then after that, pour it in this thing and drink. But don't offer your Panadol, your diabetic hypertension medicine, or don't offer. Only Ayurvedic medicine. You can do that.
Hare Krishna
Yes,
Prabhu,
Yes,
you're saying just now that if widows means don't put a tulsi garland, Prabhu. But
Yeah.
But you said when in a funeral, on the body, you can put tulasi leaves or
It's thick.
the stick, or just at the side or
Dry tulsi thick.
at the side or on his
Chest.
on the person's chest. Okay, that is doable. That is okay.
Yeah.
Don't put garland.
Don't put garland. No, not the fresh tulsi garland. You have seen that before, Mataji? Any videos who passed away, they put one big tulsi garland. Have you seen that before?
So far, no, Prabhu.
You have not seen it. That's why you can't recall it. You know, is a standard actually according to Hindu funeral. I don't know from where it is created. When the widow pass away, they usually come and put tulasi garland. துளசியில மாலையை கட்டிட்டு வந்து போடுவாங்க. ஆனா thank God இப்போ துளசி மாலை கட்டுற அளவுக்கு யாருக்கும் இங்க திறமை இல்லை. ஆனா once in a place I've seen it unless you make some special order, they have to go, they need the pay, go to pluck some tulasi அந்த மாதிரி. But Klang and all the other places like Perumal temple there, they got all the facility for tulasi because the Perumal temple is there, Vishnu temple is there. So அதை வாங்கிட்டு வந்து என்ன செய்வாங்க, இறந்தவங்களுக்கு வீடு விதவைக்கு போடுவாங்க. Shouldn't, very bad. It's a very bad karma, right? And for a devotee who pass away, sometimes என்ன செய்வாங்கன்னா, they take the tulasi, usually for a devotee what they do, they take the tulasi offered to the lotus feet, they put it in the mouth and they put it in the eyes, on the eyes. ரெண்டு கண்ணு வாயில, they put the tulasi leaf. கிருஷ்ணாக்கு ஆஃபர் பண்ண துளசி லீஃப் எடுத்து கண்ணிலையும் வாயில வைப்பாங்க. ஸோ அது ஒன்று இருக்குல்ல, that's what I did to my father. வாயில கண்ணுல we put a tulasi leaves. Okay. So if you think you want to make medicine out of it, or if you need to consume tulasi and karpuravalli, so you can cultivate tulasi plant in your house. Every day offer tulasi to Krishna. If you don't have a Krishna in the house, offer to Bhagavad Gita. Keep a Bhagavad Gita there and offer tulasi. Put tulasi, and after offering the tulasi, later you take the tulasi plant and crush it, or want to mix with the karpuravalli, you can take it as a medicine. And that's prasadam. Yes, Prabhu, Vaishnava Prabhu, you want to say something?
Oh, no, sorry.
Okay. All right. Anyone else got any question? Okay. The next class we'll do it on Tuesday, because next week, Monday, I've got a appointment to repair my car. So we'll meet again next week, Tuesday, then Wednesday, then Friday. Okay. The important announcement is this Saturday, that's tomorrow, is Balaram Purnima, half-day fasting. Half-day fasting and worship of Balaram. Okay, so please go and visit the nearest ISKCON temple or any Krishna temple. If you're not available due to some health reason, as what we have understood yesterday, we can meditate on Lord Balaram. You can chant more rounds. You can study and you can read some pastimes of Balaram. Okay. Then after that, Sunday, of course, none of you from Ipoh. Okay, Sunday is Ramai Swami is coming, one of Prabhupada disciple who developed Australian Yatra. If you have any, I think he's traveling all over from Penang to all over KL. So please don't miss his association. Please go and join them. And other than that, it's what? Yeah, the following Saturday, I think it's Janmashtami. All right. So anyway, till that day, till we meet again on Tuesday, have a wonderful day. Vancha kalpaturubhescha kripa sindhubhyevacha paditanam pavinibhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Rupa Goswami ki jai. Gaura Premanande. Hare Hare.